Hello and welcome back to the Reapers, and today we're looking at acceleration of the fast jets in DCS World at the moment as they stand, and we're going to be comparing them to each other. We're currently doing a series of videos at the moment comparing top speed, low level top speed, high level top speed, climb rate, turn rates, all sorts of things, and this is going to be my personal favourite because I like acceleration. So before we get stuck into the meat of this, there's a few things I just need to address from the previous videos. The previous videos being maximum speed at low level of these aircraft, maximum speed at optimal level of these aircraft, i.e. high level, and maximum dive speed. Now, one person suggested that the maximum vegan optimal altitude for maximum speed is not going to be within the range that I tested, and the range that I tested was about Angels 35 up to about Angels 50. He suggested it's going to be lower, somewhere between Angels kind of 10 and 20. So I thoroughly tested this out with the VIG. I'm not going to show it now and waste your time, but I tested the max speed for the VIG at intervals of every 5,000 feet ASL, so 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, all the way up to 35,000. And I found that, although it did get very close to the record of Mach 1.77 that I found at about Angels 40, it never actually topped it. Well, it actually did achieve ever so slightly more knots in true speed, but the Mach, because it was lower down, was slightly lower, 1.76. So I think we'll just keep that as the current record of 1.77 at Angels 40, and you can go try that out if you want, but I'm pretty sure you're going to get the same result as me. Next, SU-33, an eagle-eyed viewer spotted that I made a mistake. I accidentally used full fuel for the SU-33 in the two speed comparisons, low level and optimum level. That's my mistake. So I went and started making a new video, a correction video, showing the SU-33 at the correct amount of fuel, 10% to match the others at max speed at low altitude and at optimal altitude. And you won't believe it, but it actually went ever so slightly slower with full fuel, with an extra 8 metric tons of full fuel. It went 3 knots slower at sea level, and it went 1 knot slower at high altitude, about Angels 38 or 40 or something like that. Absolutely no idea why that is. Defies physics as far as I'm aware, but I don't really know what I'm talking about in this remit. So let me know if you've got any comments on that, and if you don't believe me, go test it out yourself. But again, I'm sure you'll get the same results. So on to today, we're testing the maximum acceleration of these planes and comparing them with each other. Now, if you look in our drag racing and air racing playlist on YouTube, I've done this plenty of times over the last few years. I've got all the 10 big, fast fighters and raced them against each other in. And the way we did it is have humans together doing a drag race from 0 knots all the way up to 700 knots, and it was very good and looked cool. Made a great video and stuff like that, but not really scientific. Many reasons for that. First of all, human error. It had several different humans who all have different reaction times for the starting gun, that put their gear up at different times, that rotate at different times. It makes it non-scientific. Great fun to do, but we can't really treat it as gospel. So I had the idea of replacing those humans with AI drivers. AI drivers are going to be completely reliable. Then we're not going to have human error. But you can't do it. I've tried every way, since Sunday, to try and get AIs to drag race properly. Yes, you can get them to drag race. They do not drag race properly. The reason is they never actually use the full acceleration limits of their aircraft. I've tested it, and they use between 80 and 95% of the acceleration limits of the aircraft. Whatever you do, however you set your waypoints and your waypoint speeds, they refuse to accelerate as fast as a human. That's just how it is. Don't believe me? Go and test it out yourself. You'll have exactly the same thing. So all AI drag races, null and void, sorry. So we're going to have to do it the boring way, but the proper way. One by one, and timing over a certain amount of speed. So I'm going to drive each aircraft. I'm going to drive it. We're going to do 2 sets of tests, keep everyone happy. 1 at sea level, 1 at high level, which I'm going to treat as Angels 15 Imperial, which is a decent combat altitude for all aircraft. I don't see much point of going higher because it's going to start skewing results due to optimization reasons and whatnot. And simply I'm going to go one plane at a time. I'm going to cruise at about 200 knots, and then going to go full power all the way up to about 700 knots, and I'm going to use the video editor when editing this video to set a timer and time the aircraft between 300 knots and 650 knots. At least that's what I'm going to use on the low level test. I'll decide on the high level test when I get up there. The way that we're going to measure the speed is our true speed taken directly from the game engine down here, or a GPS speed, and our altitude is going to be taken from here again, the GPS altitude.
Regards accuracy, I'm going to be filming in 30 frames per second, so I think that's all the accuracy that I'm going to need. I won't see the results as I'm doing this because I'll get them in the mission edited afterwards, but at the end of the runs, then what I'll do is a collation table and we'll go and compare the results at that point. The reason we're starting at 300 knots rather than the lower down is because when I'm flying about 200 knots, then these planes are going to be on the edge of stall. They're going to be at high alpha, and they're not really going to accelerate very well until they get flat and level, which is going to be about 300 knots. So I think that should be a decent amount. Decent speed that's going to keep everyone happy. It's going to negate issues like the MiG-21 having to fly at high alpha, slow and whatnot. As for test parameters, all our usual stuff. No wind. QNH 29.92 inches mercury standard. Temperature 20 degrees C metric sea level. All aircraft are going to have 10% gas levels, and they're going to have gas burn turned off. All aircraft will be clean and have pylons removed if we can. And that's about it. So I'm going to get on with it. Now, as for actually flying these planes, maximum acceleration low down, it's going to be near on impossible to keep them flat and level. So I'm going to say if I can keep them below kind of 800 feet, that'll be a bonus. You know, things like the flanker are going to pitch up so badly, it's going to be impossible to trim them properly in time. So we're just going to keep as low level as we can and do our best. I think we should still get accurate results over the distance that we're going. Right, so let's unpause. Going to get down to about 200 knots, about around stalling speed roughly, maybe a little higher, and I think it's okay. 3, 2, 1, let's rock. Start the test. She's flying a bit wonky for some reason, no idea why, but I suppose it really matters. Oh, get sucked out. Stop it. Oh, test done. Lovely. On to the next plane. Okay, Mirage is about ready to go. It's actually quite hard to fly down at this speed, but... And get ready. Trim setting. 3, 2, 1. I think that's close enough. Full burn. Jurassic Park. Where are you going? Where are you going? Ah, stop that. There we go, perfect. Oh, this plane is fast. Maybe not so fast. Okay, that's it done. Next plane. Okay, 205 knots, and let's rock. Now this is going to be fast. This is the one I think it's going to go the fastest. Pure power to weight I think is what's needed in this. My physics may be wrong, but I can't see why aerodynamics would be so important in acceleration. That felt very fast, and that's going to keep on going to 900 knots. The reason we've set 650 knots is that some planes just aren't going to go that fast. And in fact, that's an important point I'd like to bring up as well. On the big drag races we did, although they look very cool, the results were slightly askew. Now, the reason is when I played them back later on and have a bit of a study of the data, I found that some planes over 10 miles, we were doing it over 10 miles if you remember, were actually topping out, were hitting terminal speed, like the F-15 was hitting terminal speed before the end of the 10-mile mark. And therefore, it wasn't really, at that point, acceleration. It was just terminal speed test, which is kind of irrelevant. It was not what I was trying to do, but I didn't realise they were hitting terminal speed at the time. So this ensures that all planes are going to hit are not going to hit terminal speed before we get to the end of the race. Essentially, they can all hit 650 knots. Otherwise, I'd love to do 800, 900 knots, but there you go. Next plane. Okay, we've got the Big Bertha now. We're going to use special afterburner mode because why the deuce not? Have I got the fuel right? Yes, I have. Super cap. I can see the trim being a bit of a bitch on this. Okay, 3, 2, 1, burn. Special afterburn on mode on when the burners come on now. Oh, she's wobbly. There we go. Ow, that's going fast, man. Can't keep her nose down. Come on, stay down, Betty. Okay, we rose a bit there. I don't think it's going to affect the results too much. Stay down. Bit of a dive there should compensate for it.
Pull up.
And that's 650 knots. Woo! Super accelerator. Okay, that's 33 with special afterburner mode. Next.
Okay, MiG-29A, second best power to weight ratio, so probably is going to come in second, but we shall see. And let's go. And I can see her being a pig to keep down, but we'll see. Oh, stop rising, stop rising! Full front stick. Nothing I can do to stop that rising. Okay, so wow, that was fast. Next one.
Fuel 1500.
Basic SU-27A. I expected it to be quite crap. She's very draggy. Doesn't have the best power to weight, so we'll see. Usually wrong at these things. And go! Whoops, a little bit low. Come on, head down. She's another one of these climbers. Pain in the butt, to be honest. Get down! Feels about the same as the Mirage.
Pull up. Pull up.
That'll do.
Pull up.
Woo! Explain. Yes! Warnings. Everything's a warning. Everything's terrifying. I know. Okay. You know what? Let's turn that bloody thing off before it drives us nuts. Okay, we're in the Hornet now, and I'm expecting fairly good things, actually. I know she's not very fast, like top speed would prove that, but acceleration, I found that actually pretty good. We'll see if that's just my imagination. In 3, slow down a little bit. And the trim is automatic trim in this, so it's easy. 3, 2, 1, go. Boom. Power on! Feels about the same as the Mirage, a little bit faster maybe. Actually felt a little bit disappointing, to be honest, but that's what it was. Right, what can possibly go wrong? What engines can blow up? What bloody... Whoa, easy now. Can't remember how to turn the radar altimeter off, so you're just going to have to put up with that. Right, can it go down to 200 knots? 3, 2, 1, go! Come on, baby. Let's see the power. And special afterburner mode on! Woohoo! Full stick forward, nothing I can do to keep it down. And we've hit it. It was very exciting, I don't think it's going to be very fast if I'm honest with you, but we'll see. F5, beloved plane of many, including me, but I don't think it's going to be any good. It's awful power to weight ratio, measly engines, but we'll see. I wish we had the Tiger Moth, not the Tiger Moth, the Tiger Shark version with a whopping great engine. Now that would be fast. But it would be historically inaccurate. It's going to take about 10 minutes for the engines to stall. Yes! Sod it, let's go now. It's not going to win anyway. Power on, burners on. Retrim. Oh, we're awfully low. Oh, she handles beautifully. Such a good handling aircraft. So different to the MiG. Oh, I'm not actually convinced she's going to do 650 knots. That's disappointing. Can you do it, my love? Come on, my love. No, come on! Woo! Managed it. Woohoo! Right, that's the low levels done. That was what it was.
I'm going to go and do a quick dry run of the high level to see what values we need to set. Oh, look at that roll rate. Such a good plane. Hello, welcome back. So that was the low level. Now we're going to do high level, combat level of Angels 15. Now we're going to have to change the speeds a bit because speeds change as we get higher in the lower density air. If you want to know more about speeds, by the way, then we have a video in the educational general section telling the difference between true speed, calibrated speed, equivalent speed, indicated airspeed, ground speed, blah, 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 blah. So this will all make sense. But just to skip to save time, we are now going to go from 250 knots, and we're going to start the clock again at 300 knots, and we're going to end again at 650 knots because I've tested, and we can just about achieve that, and I think that fits within the envelope of aircraft. So I'm going to keep it as best as I can to Angels 15. Some planes it's going to be difficult, but let's give it a go. Right, we can go straight to full burn now. And we got it. Accelerating much slower up here, but that's obvious. There's less air. Okay, and let's go. Retrim. Retrim. Actually feels quite fast up here. Maybe it's my imagination, not sure. Anyway, that's the Mirage done. Next. Okay, 3, 2, 1, kaboomy. Boom, boom. Still love this plane. Great model. Yeah, that's got it in the bag. That is so fast. So fast. And go. Wait for the burners. Special afterburner mode on. Power. Power. No, 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 no. We're not going to cry. We're not going to play that game. Down. Feels relatively fast, nothing on the F-15, but, you know, not too bad. What's this done? Next. Okay, MiG-29A. I'm expecting good things, but I'm also expecting it to be impossible to keep the nose down like last time, but we'll give it a go. Burners on. Fingers crossed. Okay, she's all good so far. Climbing now, so let's arrest that. Climbing again. Stick forward, stick forward, stick forward, stick forward. Stick forward. Can't get the nose down. But we completed the test. That felt extremely fast. Woo! Next. Okay, flanker model A. Let's rock. Very trim heavy. Come on, nose down. Whoops. Okay. Felt about average. Next. Hornet. No idea what to expect. We'll just see. Power on. Make sure speed brake's in. Kaboomy. Settle down, please. And complete. Failed about average. Next. Okay, Widowmaker. If I can get it level, stand by. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Kaboomy. Afterburner mode on. Let's rock. Come on! Oh! Okay, that was a struggle. I was expecting it to accelerate a lot faster than that. It's got a lot of power, but okay, 3, 2, 1, kaboomy. Having a little bit of trim problem here, but I'll get hold of it. Slow, slow, slow we go. Can it make it to 650 knots? Come on, baby, you can do it. Don't let the side down. That was a struggle, but we did it. Right, that is all of the planes done. We're now going to go and assess the results. Okay, so that's the end of the experiment. We've got the results collated here. Let's go and have a look. Low altitude accelerations first, 300 to 650 speed. True, knots true. First thing to point out is that this is the exact result that we got when doing the previous mass human-driven drag race that we got. Well, I say exact, I don't mean the timings are exact, but the order of the aeroplanes. So that shows that although there was bucket loads of human error in the last drag race that we did, it is the results did come out accurate at the end in terms of order. So, as we thought, F-15's at the top, only just behind by 0. Well, actually less than 0.1 seconds was the MiG-28A. Sorry, the MiG-29A. In fact, there's even some reason saying the MiG-29 might have been faster if it was easy to fly. It's, you simply can't trim it because it accelerates so fast. You just can't keep the nose down. You can't keep it trimmed in time. But as it is, it's slightly slower. F8, massive gap, 3.5 seconds to the next jet, the F-18. Then just right on its arse is the Su-33 with special afterburner mode, which really works well down low. Su-27 next. I mean, look at the difference between the two fast ones and the Su-27, like 4.5 seconds. Massive difference in acceleration. Mirage just behind that. Then the Viggen holding its own. It's never going to accelerate particularly well. Thrust away, it's not particularly good. Then another second and a half or so, and we got the Viggen. We never thought that would do particularly well, but just it hasn't got the power to weight ratio. And then we start getting into the much slower planes. We've got the MiG-21, and then really slow at the end, the F-5, as expected. And look at the F-5 time, 31 seconds, more than twice that of the F-15 and the MiG-29. So real powerhouses, F-15 and MiG-29, as expected. So cool, there you go, there's the official results. And for the high altitude, Imperial Angels 15, same true speeds, F-15 won again. I think we all probably knew it was going to win, it's just so fast in so many different conditions. Then the real highlight of the show, Viggen AJS 37 right on the tail of the F-15 at 23 seconds. Absolutely had no idea that would do that. Have no idea why it did that. If anyone knows, let me know. But for some reason, it just did really well at Angels 15. Because the result looked funny, I went and redid the VIG and I got it again within 0.01 seconds. So it is the right figure. So that's how it is. MiG-29A suffered 23 seconds. Again, I don't know if it's because it was so hard to drive and keep level or whether that is the genuine figure. Realistic thing is probably that is just the figure. It just can't keep up with the F-15 at altitude. Massive gap, 3 seconds or so till the F-18. And then the usual Crusaders behind that, the Su-27. Mirage, basically the same as the Su-27. And Su-33 with special afterburner mode did really badly at Angels 15. Don't know why. I repeated that result and I got it very closely again. It just seems to be how it is at that particular speed. I'm guessing the special afterburner mode just doesn't have as much oomph up high as it does down low. And bearing in mind it's obviously a much heavier plane than the Su-27 and with the same engines, so I guess it just can't keep up. And then the slow boats that really struggle upstairs. MiG-21, really disappointing. I really thought that was going to do well. It just can't accelerate that plane. And the F-5, obviously, just not very powerful. Did well to keep up with the MiG-21. So, those are the figures. Let me know if you have any comments on that. I don't think there's any point of doing it any higher than that because it's just, well, what's the point really? You're never going to need acceleration up higher than that. You're just going to put it in a dive. My only comment is I'm looking forward to seeing where the F-14B is going to be in that. I think it really can do well because it's got thruster weight. It really does have thruster weight. Slightly, I think, less than the F-15C, but comparable. But it has the added bonus of the over 400 knots. So we can put the wings back and really reduce that drag, which I think is going to help in the latter stages of the race. So when it comes, we'll do a full drag race with it, with all the boys, and we'll add it to this list here, doing it kind of scientifically air quotes. Right, I hope that's useful. Hope you enjoyed that. See you later.